Hello, everybody, and welcome
Hello.
to, I'm Holly, this is David, we're the Mares, and we're going to be telling you a little bit about what we have learned in the past 5 days or so about Facebook notifications, using a page, and helping to understand that to run your business better. So the first thing that we're going to do is make sure that everybody here has went to the event page on my business page and selected to join. That way you can see what's happening as we're talking about it. We're also going to share our screen here in a moment and get that started. Okay.
Fun little warp.
Okay, so first we're going to go over an outline for the evening so we know what's going to happen. Here's our outline here.
I'm actually going to turn off our faces because you don't need to see that. And all right, there we go. Oh,
should we keep going?
Yeah. So
okay.
Go ahead, Holly.
So this is the outline for our presentation tonight. We're going to talk about the concerns that people are having with Facebook and notifications and who sees what, who's not seeing what, and why. The next thing we're going to talk about what a Facebook page is, what the pros and cons of using a page are, and compare that to the other options that are out there. We're also going to talk about the basic event, the basic behavior of a post in your event. What's it going to do? What kind of notifications are going to be sent? So you know what happens when you do what. We're also going to go into tag or not to tag and how that affects who sees it and who doesn't see it. And it might surprise you. And then we will talk about the next bullet is when in doubt, share. That might not make sense now, but we'll get into it. And then at the end, we're hoping that we can have a question and answer session if we can get that to work out.
Now, one thing real quick, just because this is mine and Holly's first time using the Google Hangout broadcast option, I want to make sure that people are actually able to hear us right now. So if you have indicated that you are attending Holly's event, as it looks like many of you have, we're going to go ahead and do a little post right here. All right, so go ahead and reply to that post from Holly's Usborne Book and More, and maybe just let us know if you can hear us, and you know, if you are seeing our screen all right and everything. Go ahead and let us know that as well. We'll wait for just a minute to see if any notifications come in. Sylvia seems to have liked that post. So Sylvia, thanks for doing that. Hopefully that means that you can hear us.
So there's at least one person here out of 105 who said they were coming.
And you are welcome and appreciated. So thanks for being here.
Okay, so we have a few more people.
All right. Also, lots of people liking. I would be interested if anybody wants to comment and just say, hey, I can hear you. Oh, looks like Michelle has commented. So let's go ahead and take a look there. And oh, yeah, sure enough, you can see. All right, hearing our wonderful words. And as we go through, feel free to continue commenting. Looks like there may be some other comments that we're seeing here. So you can see those as well. All right. And I may need to refresh the page every now and then. Erin letting us know that she's watching from YouTube. So that is great. That's actually another option that is terrific about us using the Google Broadcast. Not that we're here to talk about Google Broadcast, but okay. So thank you, Monica and Jennifer and Michelle and Crystal and everybody else for chiming in. We do appreciate the participation. And let's go ahead and keep moving forward as Holly talks about some of the concerns that people are having about the posts.
So I will say that I am quite new to Usborne. And by that, I mean like 9 or 10 days in. I first learned about Usborne about a month ago when I was invited to a Facebook party, and I thought, oh, that looks pretty cool. So I went, I got on the event. I'm pretty sure I got most, if not all, of the notifications, and it was fun. And then I later wanted to do more, so I contacted the person and went from there. So here I am. I have done 3 Facebook events already. 2 of them, the first 2 I did just on my regular profile, and then the third one I did from my Facebook page. And you might be thinking, I don't know if this girl has enough information to actually be doing this. Well, I will tell you, that is why this handsome young man is here, because he is a Facebook guru. For a while, part of his job was running Facebook pages for businesses. And over the weekend, we did a lot of research, seeing if I do this, what was going to happen. If I do this, if I do this, I do this. And it took up most of the weekend. So here we are trying to let you all know what we know. So the reason why we're here, basically, is because recently Facebook has changed things up and people aren't getting the notifications that you want them to, and they used to. So that's a big problem, because if you're hosting an event, you want people to know what's going on. If they don't know what's going on, then they get behind, or maybe they just don't see anything at all, they lose interest and leave the party and don't make an order. So people aren't seeing things, and so people said, hey, well, maybe if I just start tagging people, if I tag everybody in the party as fast as I can, then they'll see everything. But that's not working either, and there's some reasons for that we'll go into. So we'll also, let's see. It also seems that for some people, their event notifications are dwindling. That maybe they're having a lot at first, and then you get less and less and less notifications sent out to your party over time. And another thing is attendees aren't getting notifications when a comment is made on a post that's already on the event. So those are the majority, if not all, of the problems people are having. So David here, the professional, is going to talk about what to do about it and the best thing to do.
Thanks.
David, I'll let you talk for a few minutes.
All right. Thanks, sweetheart. Thanks, Holly. So Holly is very kind. Now, what I would say, as far as being Facebook gurus, I'm under the impression that there really is no such thing as a Facebook guru or Facebook expert, because it changes so often that as soon as somebody is, an expert or certified or whatever, it could change again. So my big thing was, a few years back, I, professionally managed a number of Facebook pages for public relations work, but that was whole years ago. We've circled around the sun a couple of times, and so I didn't want to just assume that my understanding from then was still relevant. So last weekend, like Holly said, we did a lot of testing. I used one of the pages that I kind of have to test things with, and basically just did a lot of A/B testing, like, hey, what is the behavior here? Really focusing on the specific concerns that Holly had brought up, about, you know, that people were mentioning in chats. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and just turn the camera back on. I'm using my, and yeah, sorry for the little time warp that happens every time I do that. I use my hands a lot to talk, and I feel like when I'm doing that, I'm not, you know, gesturing with my mouse like I should be. So, so you're all just seeing a screen sitting there. Anyway, back on track. So with the idea being, hey, the concerns are people aren't getting the notifications that you're expecting them to get. So what's going on? So a couple of disclaimers, I guess, before we jump in. As we talk about posting on Facebook events, we are going to be talking specifically about posting as a page. We're not going to be talking about, you know, posting an event from a personal account. We're not going to be talking about posting an event from a group. So, you know, as you notice right now, we're logged in as Holly. If we were to click right here, then we would be seeing Holly's personal profile, where, you know, Holly could post an event as herself, but she didn't do that. She posted an event as her Holly's Usborne Books and More page. So that's what we're doing. So in talking about that, you might be saying, well, why are we focusing exclusively on pages? Well, for two reasons. One, there's just too much to test with all of the different ways that it could be posted. You know, if you're posting personal or group or whatever. The other reason is I really do believe that posting as a page has some really important benefits to it. So let's talk about kind of some of the pros and cons of posting as a page, or you know, setting up a Facebook page that you can use to post your events. So some of the pros are that, well, for one thing, it's just a little bit more legitimate. You know, Facebook really expects that, hey, if you are posting as a person, you are posting as a person. If you're posting as a business, then you should be a page. And, you know, groups are really for kind of community events. And they really have tried to build those three different experiences accordingly. So as a page, it's much easier to share with other people, not only sharing your events, but just sharing the page in general. So for example, you know, when I am on Holly's Usborne Books and More, the URL that Holly shares with somebody to say, hey, go like my page, is just facebook.com/Holly's Usborne Books and More. You know, it's not some string of random characters. So it's really easy to memorize. It's really easy to share with people. She doesn't have a limit of how many people can like the page, which, you know, with groups, there's a limit. And the way that you share groups is, you know, friends sharing with friends, and you can't just have some random person, you know, find a group and join it without being invited. Whereas here, you know, if somebody did a search on Facebook for Usborne Books, hey, there's a chance that Holly's page might be one of the search results. Okay, so the ease of sharing, that's one of the things that's great about having a page. But let's talk about the concerns that we're actually here to talk about, where it gets into the events and, you know, things like that coming up. Because one of the concerns is, hey, people aren't seeing my stuff as often as they used to. So realize that with Facebook posts that people see on their news feed, you know, their personal feed that they look at every day. Facebook, it doesn't just show everything that a person's friends post, and it doesn't just show everything, you know, down the line in chronological order that every page posts. It uses an algorithm to know, hey, how much is this person actually interacting with this thing? You know, I mean, I could have liked a Zorro page 5 years ago, and, you know, and never clicked on a like of one of their posts, never, you know, commented on anything. And you know what? It's not going to show me posts from Zorro. This is a terrible example, but basically, you know, it's going to say, hey, maybe he's not really all that interested. You know, so it's not going to show it to me that often. And it does the same thing with our friends, believe it or not. If I have friends who I just don't interact with that much, Facebook isn't going to be showing me their posts as often. By the way, I do see that there was a post from Monica a minute ago asking if this is going to be recorded. Yes, it's currently being recorded. So it should be available on YouTube right now for those of you watching it, and also afterwards. I believe it's also going to be available. By the way, if anyone does have any questions, great thing to do is either post like Monica's done, or posting in the comments of one of Holly's posts works as well. Okay, so why am I talking about algorithms? The reason is because you want your friends to be your friends. You want to be able to post and interact with your friends and have them interact with you like you were just, friends talking to each other. You don't want to run the risk of, hey, maybe you've got a friend who the two of you really get along and you really like each other, but for one reason or another, they're just not interested in Usborne books. And that's fine. But if they start interacting with you, if the algorithm is saying, hey, this person is, interacting with Holly 50% less than they used to, that's going to start affecting your personal algorithm with that friend. And that can start causing certain posts to come up less. So I'm going to wrap up this whole convoluted thing on excuse me, on algorithms, just to say that, by having it as a page, you ensure that the people who are interested in being notified on Usborne events and Usborne things are getting those notifications. And the people who aren't, that's fine, they won't, but they will still be seeing your personal stuff. Okay, so I'm going to list off just a few other things that really are useful about having pages. They do have built-in metrics, so you're able to, track over time, when people are liking your page more, when you are getting more views to your posts. There's just some really good, over here, I've got some great insights to look at. I can see how many people were reached by this. 3.7 thousand, that's a lot. 175 actually viewed it. 110
you guys are really
have
boosting
engaged.
my scores tonight.
And realize that when it says reached, it means it showed up on somebody's screen at some point. It doesn't mean that they clicked on the link. It doesn't mean that they looked at it, but somebody somewhere, somebody's eyeballs at least glanced over it. The point is, there's some really good metrics that can be useful. Another thing that is great is that you can schedule posts as a page. And so, instead of just having to post right at the time that you need to post, and let me see if I can give an example of this real quick. So if I am on Holly's page, then, I could be typing something and, hey, isn't this great? Well, I could post right at the moment, or I can say, hey, I want to schedule this post. I can even backdate. If I want to say, oh, this is something I want to show as posted yesterday. I don't encourage any dishonesty from this, but the fact is, you can just do some neat things with posting that you just can't do with a personal page. Okay, so let me go back to
yeah, don't post that.
No, I won't post that. Okay, so we're back here on the event. Bottom line, I won't keep going into it, except to say a couple other benefits of a page. You do have a bit more control over your events. What I mean by that is, right now, if Holly posts something, then everybody who said that they're attending is going to get a notification. If Monica posts something, or if Michelle posts something, that's not the case, because they aren't admins for the page like Holly's Usborne Books and More is. And so that's not to say that they shouldn't get attention, but maybe, hey, I want to be able to say, oh, this post isn't going to be recorded. Actually, it's not, and I'm really embarrassed that it's not, so I'm going to delete that post. Or I'm not going to delete and remove the user. But anyway, you just got a lot of options there that other attendees just don't have. Okay, so let's talk about the cons of posting from a page. So one thing is that any events that you post are going to be public. If you post an event from a page, you won't be able to choose the option of invite only. It just assumes, hey, this is a page. Any event that's posted is public. So that's one area that you actually have a little bit less control. The direct message limitations. So right now, as Holly's Usborne Books, if I wanted to send a message to somebody as Holly's Usborne Books, I actually wouldn't be able to start any messages with them unless they messaged first. Now, Holly, as a person, can still, directly message other people, but as a page, no. All right, and let me just make sure that this is actually still true. Yeah, okay, so what we see here is a conversation with Holly. So it is possible for other people to message the page, and the page can respond, but they just can't start a conversation. Okay, and the last thing is tagging limitations. So if I were to start, typing something, here is a post with, and I'm going to tag, oh, Holly's dad. So let's try and post John. All right. John Hanley, it's her brother. Now, in reality, it should not have let me do that. So I'm not quite sure why it did, but this is the wonderful learning experience together that Facebook always is. Because typically the way that it should work is that I could very easily tag, let me just make sure that I am, yeah. I should be able to very easily tag, people who have responded to this. So if I wanted to tag Monica, you know what? It looks like the functionality is happening a little bit differently than I tested this weekend. So thank you for bearing with me and not throwing tomatoes at me through the screen. So as I was testing this weekend, the limitation was that when posting as a page, I was able to post people who were attending, but I was not able to post other people. So let me go back to Holly's actual page right here. So now if I want to say posting on, okay, so this is more typical of what I was expecting to see. So now you notice that I can only tag other pages in my posts. I can't tag other people. So that's the limitation of posting as a page, not a person. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about posts, because that is the main thing that people are here to listen about. Okay, so the concern is, hey, I'm posting something and people aren't seeing it. So here's the #1 takeaway item. And as a professional trainer, I probably should have put this up front, since this is what everybody came to listen to. So if I'm posting something, why aren't people seeing it? If I've posted something and people have said that they are attending, as I can see quite a few people are here, I would want people to see it. And the first thing to take away is the behavior of a normal post is that if you just type in a regular, I'm going to call it vanilla post, if nothing else is added. You haven't tagged anyone. Okay, I'm just going to post this. And now, all of you should have gotten a notification just now that there was a post on an event that you joined. So go ahead and use the comments if you would, and let me know if you actually received that notification. And I'll wait, I'll keep talking while I wait to see if people start chiming in and commenting on that. So unless there's some unexpected behavior, it should be that all of you did get a little notification on Facebook when Holly posted that. Okay, now earlier tonight when Michelle posted her post, nobody saw that, or at least that's the expectation. And that's because it happens that people get those notifications when the page admin puts on a post. By the way, I did say comment if you did get it, but also please go ahead and comment if you did not get the notification, because you know, we want to know that too. And yep, okay, got the notification. Now, I would like somebody to also go ahead and comment in here as a volunteer to be our experimental guinea pig or lab assistant. I will take the next person who comments saying, I want to be a lab assistant, and we're going to do a little experiment. A little learning activity, as it were.
It won't hurt.
Much. All right, let's go ahead and refresh the page, see if anybody has commented. And by the way, I should be getting notifications when people do comment. Our internet is not particularly fast, as you can see from the refresh here. Okay, it looks like some people have commented. Okay, and people are giving thumbs up. Got it. Yep. Okay. All right, don't see anybody who wanted to be the lab assistant yet, so I'm going to pick eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Abby, do you mind being a lab assistant? Oh, wait. Michelle is commenting again. Looks like maybe we have... Oh, Michelle got lab assistant. All right, terrific. Alrighty. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a post right here. Here's a post with Michelle tagged. Now, I'm going to post this, and after I do, I want people to say if they got a notification about it, and I want Michelle to note if she got a notification or not. So I'm going to go ahead and post that. Michelle commented before I even had a chance to post. So now I'm posting. So now go ahead and let me know. And actually, hold off. Don't comment yet. Let Michelle comment first, because this is actually going to get into our little learning experiment here. Michelle, we most definitely do not hate you. Okay. So let's see, did we actually post that last one? Oh yeah, okay. So there it is. So Michelle's been tagged. By the way, I want you to notice something, that the post that people are posting in is this one that I actually posted 25 minutes ago. And you might be saying, hey, how come that one is up the top and you know, these other ones are a little bit further down? Oh, and I'm sorry, Renee, I missed you. You said that you also wanted to be a lab rat. So, oh, Jillian, I am getting off topic. Sorry. The point is, the the posts that have the most activity are the ones that are going to stay up at the top. Okay, so Michelle, go ahead and comment on this particular one, the one that you are tagged in, and let us know if you got a notification when that post was put on there. And then everybody else go ahead and post and let us know if you got a notification when this one went up. Because I don't want to wait too long and people's memories grow foggy. Okay. While I wait for that, let me tell you what I'm expecting. What I am expecting is that all of you should have gotten a notification except Michelle. Now that sounds crazy because, you know, what we all assume about the way that Facebook behaves is that when we post something, it just shows up in news feeds. But when we post something and tag someone in it, they get a notification. So they know, hey, you should come and look at this thing. But for some reason, as we did all this testing this last weekend, we found the opposite to be true. That when it was just a regular post, everybody got it. But when it was a post and someone was tagged or multiple people were tagged, everybody got the notification except the people that were tagged. Okay, I'm going to refresh the page just to see if anybody has commented, and I just haven't seen it yet. Oh. Okay, so looks like some people commented. All right.
Okay. So Michelle says she did not get a notification.
And
in fact, I don't see the post that is tagging me.
Really? That is surprising, actually, and that's good to know. So the other thing that I'm going to do right now is post a comment with Michelle. Actually, yeah, I'll go ahead and do Michelle this time. We'll use our other Renee Lab Rat later on. Oh, and this is actually a comment, not a post. Okay, now I'm posting a comment with Michelle tagged in it. And again, from what I tested this weekend, she should not have gotten a notification about that. But now if there is another post in this discussion and Michelle has been tagged in a comment in the discussion, now it's going to say, now Michelle should be getting a post saying, hey, you got a post from, or you know, there was a comment on a conversation, on a post that you are following. Because now that she's been tagged in a comment, it assumes that she is following this conversation. By the way, another thing that I want to point out is April and Jill and Kelly and everybody, and Jill is not getting notifications. That's good to know. But for the rest of you, after you commented, I assume that you have also been getting notifications that that other people were making comments in a post that you commented on. So go ahead and let me know if that is true. All right, and Julian says, I did not get a notification. Okay. I did not get a notification from the tag comment, but I got a notification when Abby and Jill posted. All right. So let me go back to the one where, yeah, okay. So that's the one where Michelle was posted. Okay, so I don't want to take everybody's time up tonight because Facebook does have a lot of funny little quirks and things that that can kind of throw things off. Here's the main takeaway. first of all, if you decide to post events as a page, if you are posting as a page, don't tag people in the post itself. It doesn't behave the way that you think it's going to behave. And in fact, it makes things kind of funny. So that's probably the number one takeaway. In addition to that, now some of you aren't getting notifications, and it's important to keep in mind that you can, as a user, so let me bring up my page here, or my Facebook, and I can see that there have been some posts posted and things like that. So realize that as a Facebook user, have the ability to turn off notifications from Holly's Usborne Books and More, or from this event. And I can choose right here to stop notifications. So if you have users who have chosen on their end to stop notifications from events, and it does not have to be that they've set it for your specific event. If there has been an event in the past, if there was some wedding that they said that they were going to, and they were just inundated with all these posts about the wedding, and they just said, they went to their settings and they said, stop showing me notifications for events, then that could also be the reason why they aren't seeing your posts. So there's no one magic silver bullet to say exactly what could be causing your users to not get it. I would say a big first indicator that you want to look at is, hey, are you tagging people in the post? Now, let me slow down for a minute, and let's go back to the last thing that Holly said in the agenda. When in doubt, share. So let's say that there was this whole thread where I did tag Michelle, and maybe it's because I wanted people to be able to click on Michelle and call her out specifically. Or maybe I did it before I knew that I wasn't supposed to tag her, or for whatever reason. You always have the option of coming here and clicking on the share icon, and you can either say, hey, here's something you should look at. And you've got a few options of how you can post that. You can post it to your own timeline. You can post it on a friend's timeline. You can post it on a page that you manage. Or you can post it in a group. So let's say, oh, you know what? I wanted to share this with Michelle, and so I can type Michelle's name in there. I can also post as a private message. So if there's somebody on here that is a wonderful person who I should be friends with, but maybe I'm just not Facebook friends with them yet, and I'm going to pick someone at random, Abby Shawcroft. So since I can't send that to her on her timeline, I can send it to her as a private message. Hopefully.
No E.
Oh, sorry, Abby. And I would be able to send that over to Abby. Now it should have come up with Abby's name. Apparently it's not letting. Oh, the reason is because right now I am trying to share this as Holly's Usborne Books and More. And as I said before, you can't start messages with people as a page. So what I could do in that case is I can change my secret identity from superhero Holly Usborne Books and More to mild-mannered stay-at-home mother and awesome wife Holly Mayer. And now I can share it not as a page, but as Holly. And it's not letting me do that. So I'm not exactly sure why, but I will try and figure that out. Well, in any case, I know that from the Facebook app on my phone, I have been able to send them in private messages, so I'm not exactly sure why it's not allowing to do that on here, but such are the mysteries of Facebook, and such are the dangers of a live broadcast to many people we don't know. Okay. I think I have done more than my fair share of talking. I'm going to pass it over to Holly to kind of share with all of you, because she's an Usborne consultant, and as are the rest of you, and I am not. So she's going to say, hey guys, this is what actually matters. And then we're going to try and open it up for some questions and answers. And hopefully this has been somewhat helpful. So I'm going to turn it back over to Holly.
Okay, so I hope what you walk away from this thinking, number one, that Holly is really cool. I'm going to like her page.
Indeed.
The second thing I want you to walk away from this is, don't tag anybody, because it just makes it complicated. But you say, oh, I really want to tag somebody because they asked me a specific question, like, I have a 7-year-old who doesn't read, what would be the best book for them? And you want to make sure that they get it. Well, the best thing to do in that case is, if they post something directly onto your page, like for instance, April posted something, then I can just comment directly back. If they comment something in a big old long post like this, and I'm not sure if so generally if I post something here, all these people up here will get a notification, correct? Saying I posted something.
Right.
But if I post again down here, get out there. If I post again, the first people who already got a notification will not get another notification. Is that also correct?
Right. So the idea is...
So let's say April says, hey, my 10-year-old doesn't read, I need a book. And I say, sure, let me get you a couple of suggestions. And then I put 6 suggestions and 6 different comments. They're only going to get a notification for the first one. They won't get a notification for anything else. So once they see that I've commented, they only get that one single notification if it's in a big long list like this. So you just want to keep that in mind.
Can I point out one other thing?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to go back to Michelle's comment right here, that she says, hey, I did not get a notification from the tagged comment, but I got a notification when Abby and Jill posted. And she's talking about these 2 posts right here. So here's the thing to be aware of. If you tag someone in a comment, they will not see the comment that they are tagged in. Why? Who knows? But they won't. But they will be seeing all of the comments. They will get notifications for the comments which Michelle is probably kind of regretting right now. But just to go back to Holly's point of, hey, somebody asked a question, I want to post all of these links in response to them. Be aware that you can tag them in a comment. Just be aware they will not get a notification for that comment.
You'll have to make another comment showing that you posted something directly to them.
Right.
Okay. So another thing, let's see. So let's say that, so one thing that I noticed that was different between posting on my personal event compared to my page event is when somebody makes a comment on my personal event and I get a little notification, I can click up here on notification and my page will refresh and take me exactly to that comment, and it will say this comment, whatever was the comment it was notified me of. It doesn't do that on a page. It will just refresh your page and bring you to the list. It will give you a little blue or green box around the whole thread, and you're going to have to search through and figure out what you missed. So if stuff is moving really quickly, I found it really easy to miss the comments as they were coming in. Like if I'm up playing a game or something and people are commenting really quickly, really easy to miss the stuff in the middle. So just be aware of that because it won't take you directly to their comments. Let's see. And I don't know if I have anything else specific to share. If anybody has any questions or comments or anything that we can clear up, we would love to help as far as we are able to. So David is just typing, post your questions here.
And while I wait for people to post their questions, I'm going to ask a question of, hey, was this little presentation helpful to you at all? And any one of those answers would be acceptable. So, I mean, but honestly, let us know. Did you find this helpful? Hopefully, you did. And if we discover any information to be erroneous, we'll find some way to put it down the bamboo wireless, I suppose. All right, I'm going to go ahead and refresh this page to see if any questions have been coming in. And hopefully your internet speeds are faster than ours as far as refreshing the Facebook pages.
Well, so far, our votes are looking pretty good.
We've got 2 saying yes, it was helpful, and someone who says that Holly's hair looks beautiful tonight. Okay. So Lori asks, so I make a recommendation and then I comment. So I make a recommendation, then I comment. I sent recommendations. So Lori, what I'm saying is this. So if I say, great question, Lori. And again, I do not know why tonight this is behaving differently than usual. During this weekend, when I was doing this, it was allowing me to tag anyone that had said that they were attending. So, Michelle says, in fact, I don't see the post that is tagging me. So that's actually good to know. So that may be one. Oh, I did not get a notification. I am commenting. Oh, okay. Sorry, that was from earlier. Again, one of the dangers of the fact that it goes by the activity of the comments and not when the actual post was posted. So as I said, for some reason, it does not seem to be behaving the way that it was behaving for me this weekend. I'm going to post here. So Lori, because you commented right there, you should have received a notification about that. Now, if it was acting the way that I expected it to behave, I should have been able to tag you since you had said that you were attending, unless you're one of the maybes. Nope. Okay.
Oh, another thing to point out is that maybes will see nothing.
Correct.
It's as if they didn't respond at all.
Yeah.
So on your own personal event, if you have an event, the maybes will still get notifications, but on a page, a maybe will get nothing.
Is it they get notifications, or is that they see it on their wall? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I've only tested
pages. But I know here
pages.
they don't get anything.
Correct. Yeah. Because the maybes are as if they had said nothing at all. So let me say this, Lori, I wish I could actually show this in real time as I expected it to behave. I'll see if I can figure out why it's not behaving that way, if it has anything to do with the different browsers. Well, in fact, let me go ahead and use mine. Because when I was testing the other thing, nope, still showing friends. Yeah, when I was testing this weekend, the only people I was able to tag in comments and in posts were the people who had said that they were going. So that's curious, and I wish I could give you a solid answer as to why it's behaving that way. Unfortunately, I can't. But to try and answer your question, Lori, if you were able to tag those people who are making a recommendation and then you comment, then yes, that should be sending them a notification after that. Okay, let me refresh this page, see if anything else has come up. Okay. Do the post and then in the comments tag who you want to see it. Would that work? Well, I mean, if you just do the post with no tags at all, they should be getting a notification that that post there. If you did tag someone in the comments, then again, they wouldn't be getting a notification on the comment that they were actually tagged in, but they would be getting notifications on any comments that were made afterwards.
Ah, I see that you guys are playing with this yourselves. That's great, because that's the way you're going to figure out exactly the way it works for you, is just to feel free to use this event tonight or tomorrow, whenever. Get together with somebody, say, hey, I'm going to work with this. Let's see if anybody gets a notification and see how it works.
Yeah. Also, a good thing that Michelle and Jillian tested out was if somebody sees a tag when another person, not a page, posts them. And as you can see, yes, Jillian did get the notification when Michelle posted her, when Michelle tagged her in the post. So that's another important point of behavior, is that you will see it when it's one of your friends who tags you and not the page. Because as much as we like pages, we are not friends with them.
All right. Is there anything else?
I think that kind of wraps things up. And, you know, just to echo Holly's point, you know, we could talk at you till we're blue in the face and your ears start to smolder, but what's really going to help you get it is just getting in there and experimenting and trying it out. And I'm glad to see that people are doing that. So if anyone has any last minute burning questions, go ahead and post those. And if not, I think we're just going to thank everyone for joining the event. This was kind of a fun experiment for us, and we hope that it was helpful for some, if not all of you. And go Usborne Books. Anything you want to add?
I'll just add thank you for being here, and if you know anybody who needs a good book, you can always send them my way. You have the address now. So I think I'm here.
We are. Thank you again very much, everyone. April's asking, hey, is it possible that that this could be acting a little bit differently because of the number of people attending? That is possible.
We didn't test it with over 100 people.
We did not. We didn't test it that way during the weekend. Oh, and Michelle is letting us know that she just posted a question.
Right here.
Oh, in fact, it looks like there have been a number of questions. Was this a live video training? Yes, it was, but it is recorded. If we post to the event with the person tagged, and they should receive a notification. No, if you post on the event as your page and you tag the person in it, they will not be getting the notification. Everyone but the person tagged will be getting a notification.
So for Renee's question, the page will not have the who you are with icon, correct?
Correct. So if I were to come here and post, you'll notice that I have the option to either, oh boy, and it's behaving differently once again. Because it should allow me to choose if I am posting as Holly or if I am posting as the page, and it is not showing me that option. I wonder if it's just because I tested on Chrome and we are currently on Firefox. That is strange that it's not giving me that option to say who I am posting as. But anyway, bottom line is normally I'm seeing an option here to say, and it usually appears right about up here to say, hey, do I want to post this as Holly's Usborne Books, or do I want to post this as Holly? And so if I say, hey, I want to post this as Holly, then I do have the option of doing what I call not an in-text post. So let me bring up mine again real here. So now I'm here as a person. And so now that I'm here as me, David Mayer, person with a face, although Holly's page has a face. But in any case, if I were to post this, then I have the option of tagging down below, which behaves differently. So with this, if I were to post somebody in it, then it would be only the person who was tagged here that would get the notification about the thing that I posted. Okay, let's see if we can kind of rapid fire through some more of these questions. We are already almost at the top of the hour, so we don't want to, we know that many of you are already up probably past your bedtimes. So do you recommend after tagging in a comment to post again below it so they can see it? So say we have book links, if we tag them in a comment and then post links in the comments below, then will they see it? Lori, yes, that is my understanding of the way that that should behave. Now again, for some reason tonight, it's not allowing me to tag attendees in the posts, but assuming that most of the time it is behaving the way that I tested it thoroughly this weekend, yes, it would behave the way that you're describing right there. Katie asked, does the tagging and notifications maybe have something to do with who you are mutual friends with? Katie, that is true if you are posting as a person. So if I was tagging this as Holly Mayer, or excuse me, if I was doing a post as Holly Mayer, or if I was commenting as Holly Mayer, then when I do that comment as Holly Mayer, then I would be able to tag the people that Holly Mayer is friends with. But if I was posting as the page, again, this is talking about the behavior that I tested this weekend, then you would only be able to tag the people that were attending the event. Okay. By the way, I'm trying to figure out if this is going in reverse chronological order. Okay. How did you make the notification come up to the guests? Is it automatic? Yes. So as long as you just do again, I'm going to call it a vanilla post, a post with no tagging as your page, then just automatically everybody who says that they're attending should get a notification. Renee says, I'm only getting notifications for the posts that I have commented on. That's good to know, Renee. Thank you for pointing that out. Jillian says, I also create Facebook event pages for my hosts to invite people to their home parties. When I created one earlier through my business page, it made their address public, so I immediately deleted it. Is there a way to make their addresses private to those invited only? Jillian, that's a great question. Unfortunately, if you create an event through your page, again, that is all events through pages are going to be considered public. So, you know, that's a fair question because certainly if you're doing home parties, you don't just want anyone to be able to see those events. So I'm going to take that as a takeaway question. Not sure the best way to handle that. I mean, yeah.
What would you think about if you're going to make an event specifically for a home party, just to get the invitation out there, you just make a group for that specific party?
You could do that.
Because then I know you can make a group, a private event for only the people who are invited.
True. You can do that. As far as creating that many groups that often, my first instinct would be to be wary of that, but I don't have any specific hardcore reasons to say why. I mean, ultimately, if a person is going to have, you know, a home party, if it's going to be there in their home, and, you know, you are able to help them create that event on their personal page, since it's, you know, assumedly going to be their friends that would be attending, maybe that's a way to do it. That's a good question, one that I wish I had a more concrete answer for, but like I said, Facebook doesn't really have experts. It has people who are willing to try things out. So let me think about that one, Jillian. Okay, gonna go through these last three, do one last refresh, and then I think we're gonna call it a night because we're already 2 minutes over the top of the hour. Abby asks, how many guests had RSVP? Oh, okay, that was a question we had seen earlier. Is there a way to do individual messages to partygoers that will not send a group message instead of going one by one? Well, Kelly, I don't know. Let's try that out. Can I send you a message? Are you getting this? Kelly? Who is it from? And when I say who is it from, I mean, hey, are you seeing it as being from Holly Mayer, or are you seeing it as from Holly's Usborne books? So I just sent that to Kelly. So Kelly, let me know if you received that message, if you're still around.
The last one is no. We are not able to see how many of the 106 people are actually present right now.
Correct. No, we are not able to see that. Now, I think that after the event is over, you know, like I said, there are quite a few insights that we can take a look at. You know, we can see that there's a number of people who have engaged, and we could get some more information about that. But, you know, we're not really here to talk analytics. Okay. Looks like Kelly may have either dropped off or...
Okay, no, it looks like Kelly got a message from me, from Holly Mayer.
Ah, all right. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Kelly. You are able to send out individual messages to people, but it will be as your personal account, not the page. However, if somebody would like to give it a try, or I suppose I could just do it right here as myself, if I go to Holly's Usborne Books and More, and it will be coming up in a moment here. So I am able to send a direct message that way. All right, so I can send a message directly to Holly's Usborne Books and More. I think your books are awesome. Send.
Oh, and I got the message.
And she got the message. And now, you know, she would be able to correspond with this person, this unknown, crazy looking bald man who is trying to converse with her as the page and not as her personal. Oh, hey. That looks like April
message came in.
Sent a personal message.
Let's see what she says.
A little bit ago, too. What do you both now do since you figured all this? Ah, here we go. Okay, our last question of the night comes from April asking, what do you both now do since you figured all this out? How will you handle notifying or telling people stuff that you want to make sure they see? I came late, so forgive me if you covered any of this already. Did you find business page parties were better notification-wise or personal page event ones? How do you handle videos and pictures? Was this covered? I'm going to let Holly.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is just do events from my page because I want the most people to get the most notifications. And I hadn't made a habit of tagging people before. So I don't really have a problem not tagging people. But one thing, I'm glad that you brought up the pictures and the videos, because I did notice that if I put 2 graphics in one post, they kind of show like half of the graphics, and it looks kind of stupid in my opinion. So pick like your best picture and put that in the post, and then if you have something else you want to post that goes along with it, post it in the comment. Hopefully when people get a notification that there's a post there, they will look at the comment also. Instead of just having like the half and half of each picture. With the videos, I noticed that it will show a link to the video. It won't show like a little clip, or
it doesn't show the player.
It doesn't show an image of the player on Facebook. You have to click on it, and then it takes you to the video. Obviously, I liked it better when it was the other way, when you just could play it right there.
And yeah, and I know that in the events that there's that limitation. I think that if you post directly on the page, like on your Facebook page, you can still have the embedded video link directly in there.
Okay, we should wrap this up.
Yep. All right. So thank you again, everyone, for hopping on. If there were any questions that we weren't able to answer, you know, we do apologize. This is just kind of something that Holly and I were testing out personally this weekend, and we thought, hey, it'd be neat if we could tell some people about it. And then it kind of blew up into this huge thing where it's like, oh, why don't we tell 100 people about it? So if you feel like you didn't get your money's worth, it's probably because this was a free event. But yeah, thanks for attending. Thanks for the great questions. And hopefully if you have additional questions, you know where to find Holly. And have an excellent night. And good luck Usborning.
All right. Good night.